dude.
And like that, we are live. And for anybody that sees the title of this,
What?
wait, how do I do this again? It's been a while since I've went live on the channel, and I've got Daniel with me. I've got
Hey,
Daniel from Embrace the Suck 21.
what's going on, everyone? Oh man.
This is something we should have done a long time ago. I'm gonna say this,
Yeah.
and I don't know about y'all, but I know for me personally, I get a little bit busy with life, and like I've told Squirrel, I don't know how many times, dude, we need to take and do some kind of collaboration of some kind, whether it's a live stream or a joint reaction. Oh yeah, dude, just let me know. He's like, and his times for recording are weirder than mine because mine
Really?
about 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I can do just about anything.
That's
His are in the
that's
evening
crazy.
time because of his job, and I'm like, so this kind of weird.
Yeah. And
So
and this it's kind of cool that our our lives are kind of sort of similar. They mirror. I drop my son off at 9, and he goes to school for a couple hours. He's almost 4, so I'm like, this is my time. And
right,
so we are very we were very fortunate in finding a very similar schedule to make this
yes,
work.
yes, very much so. And cheers everybody to stopping in. Um,
Yes.
it's we got Carly and DKTV, which I see him a lot on your channel. Elliot
Yes.
and Roger and Laz, what's up?
Awesome.
And Mr.
What
Chamadio.
what
So
it do, everyone?
uh this is like I said, his first time I went live on the channel. I've been watching his streams every morning that I can when I'm not taking and doing which you
Yeah.
have some Arias in the nation. Now what when did you decide to actually start your own channel outside of it, right? Because I know Spencer has it. He's got two different
Yeah.
channels, which I was like, wait, he does motor racing too? What happened here? So
Yeah. So Spencer is kicking butt on his music channel like every day. Spencer
yep,
Joyce Music. I had to plug that. He's the other half. If you see
right.
my face and recognize me, the other half is Embrace the Suck. But over here, I guess the idea for my channel is I kind of wanted to do something different, you know. And I always had this idea with Spence. I was like, what do I do? I'm not going to do reaction videos. That's for Embrace the Suck 21. You know, but over here I was like, you know what? I could record videos to speak to my son when he gets older. That maybe he can find my videos speaking to him, and kind of have a catalog just for my son to find organically
Yeah.
when he's old, to see his pops talking to him. And it kind of morphed into something different. We live stream Monday through Friday.
Well, I was gonna say it now. I like your regular videos. Like I seen the one where you're taking and putting up the light and stuff, the new fan or whatever that's there. Um, you might want to take a look at maybe some of the last couple of live streams where jousting is involved, and maybe with some of the chat, make sure that stuff is because jousting seems to be a big theme, but not medieval, but it involves penetration and rings. So
Yes, it
you know,
does. Yes, it does. Like, it's wild because I was looking up like state sports, and it was somehow, some way, my the Bruin Banter live stream that we do, it 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 just evolves into something. It like falls down the ladder, right? It just like
mhm,
everyone runs with their own thing, and it's great. But at the same time, someone's like, "What's your state sport? What do you guys do in Maryland besides crabbing?" And I did a little Google search, and it's jousting. Maryland, the state of Maryland, does jousting. That's our state sport. And, like, what? Like, where has that been my whole life? And so and so it's just like, I guess we didn't let it die when we sailed across the pond. And I know everyone that's new to this, because we use jousting all the time. That's a term that we use all the time. It's a day-to-day thing. And it's not supposed to be. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So the jousting, everyone's like, oh, jousting. That's like, knights on horses. Like, no, these guys are like Janice on a Saturday, ring penetrating with like a lance.
See, and that's the part there. I'm like, where the hell did they find the terminology for this? Adam and Eve? Like, were they going to Pornhub? What the hell? Penetration and oh my god!
It's been wild. It's just like I have to go because it's going to be that sport that takes themselves way too seriously.
Yes.
It's like, well, I'm a jouster. Like, but are you, Janice? Like, are you really? Like, the sport is built around their event is built around their organization, and you have to bring a homemade lance. And that blew my mind. Like, there is no Lance Arias. There's no like, it's like broomstick handle or shovel handle. And I'm like, you got to have fun with this. This is a joke. Like,
so
I know.
Like sorry. That went from like full scale LARPing and we're like, hey, we got the side activity that we've been doing anyways, for the king. Let's just make a sport out of it. A bottle cap, rainbow, and everything like that.
It just blows my mind. Like, and I can't wait. Apparently, there's seasons, EB, and we're in the off season. So apparently, I don't know. But next season, I will go and try to interview a jouster per se, just to see why.
Like so freaking wild. You said that, I'm like, bro, I might have to take a tag along just for the fucking entertainment value. Like, what the hell?
What? It's EB. I would definitely say, hell yeah, we should just do it. And people get confused, like, oh, jousting, like, this is not medieval times cool jousting. This is not Renaissance fair jousting. This is like the yacht club on horses jousting. Like, it's just a joke. It's a joke. I love it. I love that it's part of the state, and it's mind numbing. So, yeah.
So y'all are in Maryland. Are y'all close to Baltimore or like Annapolis or anything like that?
Oof.
We took a trip 2 years ago now. We went to Annapolis. We went through Baltimore, but we went to Annapolis. We went to DC, and the place is beautiful. That area is beautiful. Now,
yeah.
And I'll say this: me and my wife have always talking about moving. We live down here in the South, in South Carolina, and it's just entirely too hot. I'm in my 40s now, and it's even hotter than what it seems like whenever I was younger. But hey, y'all just voted to legalize weed, so I'm like, hey, they're on the list now.
Right. We did. That was a thing. At least I know I did. But but my thing is, like, you can't just tackle. All right, how do I say this, man? Maryland is so wild. Like, you got Baltimore, which is a beautiful built up place, but you turn a couple left-hand turns and you're in like Somalia. So it's like, it's this weird balance, and also DC has the same thing. Beautiful place. I hate going there. I understand that people from out of town go there and like, let's see DC, and I'm in my truck just screaming profanities at the traffic because of those people.
Watching the people taking and walking down the center of the road, screaming and hollering and cussing everybody out because they're on drugs of some sort. What up, Bri? Cheers with the 10-pound bomb here.
Hey, what's going on, Bri? Thanks. But this area is pretty wild. It's pretty eclectic, to be honest. We got jousting and we got politicians. So it's like, what the hell? Anything can happen,
right? I will say this: going to DC, one thing they don't have on travel brochures, the roundabout right there at the metro station, the homeless tents that are in there.
Yeah,
like we went and we were walking past this lady that was on the sidewalk. She was talking to one of her friends, and you could tell they're homeless. My daughter goes, "Oh, I feel so bad. She don't have nowhere to live." My wife's like, "Shut up! Come on."
There's
My other
some.
daughter, we took and went to that roundabout. She's like, "Oh, I'd like to camp here." I'm like, "Baby, they're not camping. This is where they live." So yeah,
Or they're like next level camping. Let's give them some credit. You know.
I mean, you got to dodge traffic anytime you need to go use the bathroom. So yeah, you right on that one.
Yeah, like but so it's a pretty wild experience, and you guys did the DC trip, and you guys did you stop through Annapolis too,
We
EB?
took and stayed in Annapolis, and we didn't take and really see too much of it. We ate at a Mexican restaurant that was there, but what we seen of the city, just taking and driving around, beautiful, absolutely
Gotta love,
gorgeous.
you gotta love that, man. I love that dude. You went to Annapolis, got some Mexican food. Hell yeah, the national dish of Maryland.
Right, we could have got some crab cakes or some shit like that, but no, my wife's like, we want
Yeah.
Mexican, happy wife, happy life, and all that. So we got Mexican.
Might as well win in Rome. Win in Rome.
Right.
Like, oh, where'd you go? Oh man, we went to Maryland and we ate at this dope Mexican place. Just add that to the trip. That's great, dude. Annapolis is beautiful. Like Maryland, I know like a lot of our eastern states we have, for as short as the country's been a country, the East Coast has some of our oldest history, right? Mm-hmm. In Maryland, the land of Mary, we definitely have a lot of it.
Oh yeah.
I personally, I live like 45 minutes from each DC and Baltimore. I'm kind of right in the middle, and I'm actually closer to Gettysburg than I am.
Oh wow! So you're closer to the battlefield up there in Pennsylvania than you are to. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So that's where it's pretty cool. I'm very fortunate to live in a place where I can take my son and like do legit field trips to like battlefields and stuff. So that it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. We're kind of still unplugged, but we're still city accessible.
Yeah.
And
so
it's nice.
You're in one of those nice areas of like it's not exactly sticks, but you're not so city that you're surrounded by everything.
Yes, we don't have to call the doctor on horseback with some laudanum in a little satchel.
Nice. Nice. Perfectly situated then.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
God, taking it back there a little bit, homie.
Yeah, exactly. Call the doctor. Timmy's got the cough. Like, yeah, we're not that far out. But yeah, man. No, and I'm hoping to. So my only experience with South Carolina, man, is I've driven through it to get to Florida. You know,
that's much. So,
well, it was. I should have just stopped and said hello, like, but it was in the middle of the night.
Right.
But I love what we do, man. This kind of platform, man, just opens your eyes to so many different places, man. And I'm glad that we were able to connect, not just here, but just also on Embrace the Suck and through your channels, man. With like it I love that this is like your channel is like a safe place for the YouTube. It's like you're building a safe place for YouTube, just like kind of not. Everyone's chill here. Everyone has good vibes here.
Yeah.
And those that don't are they get weeded out. Yeah. The community definitely rallies behind itself. Very nice. So
it's funny because I've got a couple people like I've got to take and reach out to McJibbin. I've got SoCal Girl and Jody and her husband. I've got to take and still interview them. But King Boomer and some of them, like I've made some comments taking just kind of picking because you got to take and kind of like, hey, I see you. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to be mean spirited or nothing like that.
No,
fuck all that. But you want, hey, I see you over there. I see you over there. It's nothing but love. Like,
yeah.
Gibbon, I hope to have him on. He seems like an interesting cat, and so does King Boomer. Like, yeah. I want to have those two on to get their perspectives because Boomer here the last couple of weeks is just kind of like he's been exploding. Yeah.
He's part of
he pumps out content like nobody's fucking business. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So it's I've got to have both of them on just kind of.
Well, I personally, King Boomer was from Maryland at one point, and that is our that's how
Connection there.
everything connected, because Maryland is more of a cult than it is a state. And yeah, he's really just kind of like it like I feel like we all have experienced that flash in the pan,
Yeah,
to varying degrees, and it's pretty cool. Like you said, there's no competition. We're just part of this family, this very like niche family, and success for one is success for others.
yeah,
We
exactly.
and yeah, and be honest, we all kind of share the same people, man.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that
one. Yeah, and so we don't try to tear our people apart, and so to know that there is camaraderie in this is super cool. It's super cool.
Yeah, which I've got to get up with Natasha and Debbie as well. Those two, like, I was watching one of their live streams. I was like, I need to take a reach out to them, so I could try to take an interview with them, kind of, because that's one of the things that having outside of after work reactions, like as far as American Reacts, like my channel is a little bit bigger than some, so
Yeah.
I'm like, some of these people that don't have, quite as big of an audience, maybe I can let's find out a little bit more about you, get you in front of a little bit more eyes and see if we can't, you know what I'm saying? Because you're right. That's the thing. Now, granted, for me, competition is I find myself competitive over everything, views, all that good stuff. But the thing about it is, same point in time, I want everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much a competitive, like, I want to crush them. No, it's more like it's a measuring stick. It's a measuring stick on the health of my channel, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because I can if they're getting this many views, if for some reason I'm not, well, then I've got to take and change something. I've got to go back to the drawing board, and then, oh crap. So these videos are now getting more than what they were getting. So my channel's back in a good place. And that's the way I look at the competition a lot.
Yeah.
But Natasha and Debbie kind of made me chuckle because I was watching one of their live streams. I hadn't said anything. Somebody had said, somebody there's like, hey, you ought to take a reach out to the Eclectic Beard. He's interviewed folks. She's like, wait, interviewed? Yeah, we've seen him. He's got a bigger channel. We're not, no. We'd collaborate. We're not going to take a do that. We'd just be like another notch in his belt. I just started laughing. I was like, what? I was like, what? So they had me rolling. So we had to be able to collaborate with them, but they're some funny chicks. Their outlook on some things is just, it makes you chuckle sometimes, because it's like, all right, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Just the way you put it just made me laugh like hell.
It's so funny, man, because this what this is, and we talk sometimes before our mind catches up. At least that's how I communicate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As a human, I always admit, I'm like, why did I say that? But it's just a reaction of me putting my foot in my mouth constantly when I human with other humans. And it's like, I love this place where we can like kind of see everyone's mentality on the same, like really like the same videos. Everyone has their own take.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of cool. I see the pull from it, or for it, from it, for it. One of those. Right? Whatever makes sense.
Yeah, that's the one you're meaning. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see, and it's funny because we do have so much overlap a lot of times, sometimes within the community, that I think that's one of the things too, that like you've seen King Boomer do some stuff that it's made him jump a little bit, because there's some videos he's got that none of the rest of us have really done. And it's the same thing with y'all. It's the same thing with Squirrel. So we all try to find our ways to kind of like, all right, let me be different this way. Let me be different this way.
Yeah.
And for the most part, that kind of stuff works. So,
there's billions of us out there, and there's only one of us, and right now we're the only us here, and we can so we're unique in our own sense. We're like a freaking fingerprint.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. We all each bring something to the table, and I think we and I want to say this before I get sidetracked, because last time I rewatched our interview. I apologize to your channel because I didn't understand the lag. So I apologize. That's right off the bat. All right. And I forgot what I was gonna say, but it was gonna be freaking epic. And again, like I love coffee, and this is great. Like I just, yeah. Sorry, man.
No,
It was
you're
gonna be
good.
deep, man. It was deep. I mean,
I hate
damn.
whenever you got something deep and all of a sudden you get sidetracked and it winds up either not coming out or it's like shallow as a mud puddle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, I'm about to change lives, and you're like,
You're like,
I love lamp. I love
yeah.
lamp.
Beep, beep, beep. That's all, folks.
Yeah, it's constantly it. Yeah, man. So, oh, this is what I was gonna say. Here we go. Hear me out on this. This my little thing, my little channel is probably the smallest one you've had on your channel. So, thanks. You know, we just it's kind of cool because it's like in the world of the reaction channels.
Yeah.
People that come to this channel, it's not that. It's not that at all. You know, you come for the live chats, and listen, I really
yes,
appreciate
you
you.
got to check out his live chats.
I really appreciate you coming in when you do, man. It's always a good time, you know, and that means a lot to me, man. That's super cool.
You got a good community over there, and it's funny because I see the bleed through from people that watch reaction videos as well, like between your channel and also Embrace the Suck 21, and a lot of them are in the chat, and so you're bleed through, but also bringing in people outside of that community as well to create your own little. That for me is a cooler thing to take and see whenever somebody like you started your own channel and you've got the bleed through, which is gonna happen, but you're also pulling in people outside of that, and you're creating your own little micro community, which is and that's how that leads to success.
I feel like you make it for them, and then they allow you to stay, kind of thing. Like, you know, that's how it goes. It's like I make it for everyone else, a nice place to call home for a little bit, a step away, and then and then they're like, oh, we like this guy moderating in front of us, so we'll continue to come here. So it's different.
Banshees, are you talking about? Well, like I've got two banshees, but they're in school right now. Is that what you're talking about?
The perfect explanation of one. Yes. Like I think I was mentioning this before we hit the live, is that my almost 4-year-old son did the most grown-up thing ever, and he was like pooping and crying at the same time. So man, I love that. I was like, hell yeah. Like, now, welcome to adulthood. Like, do I get you a beer now?
Right. You got all kind of conflicting emotions. It feels so good that you're just letting go.
Oh man, kids are awesome. And you know, it that really is it's kind of like the time that you and I have is precious to do this stuff. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm with like the family, once the technology is off, I'm family guy. Like,
yeah, after 1 o'clock every day, I've got to go get kids, and then because my 9-year-old thinks I'm her butler, go get me a drink. I'm like, get off your ass and go get it your damn self, and I'll open it for you if you need me to.
Yeah.
But like, go make me food. I'm like, kid, ask. You ask. You don't demand. See, this is where, like I was talking about, you get older, you raise your kids differently than you got raised, because everybody don't want the kids to have the same kind of issues mentally that you had. But sometimes it makes you wonder with the way they act. By the time you get to be in your 20s or 30s, psychiatric care has got to be cheaper. Like, therapy is going to have to be cheaper. Should I just go ahead and wear your little ass out? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, man. Like, so we're in our camp. We're trying to get my son to be more like kind of self-sufficient. So he has his own little drawer that he goes and gets snacks whenever he's hungry, which is the worst idea ever.
What up, homie?
Hey, what it do?
Captain Batman.
Ooh.
I love this cat, man.
Captain Bapton. Yeah.
Two of my best friends and longest friends on YouTube. Fucking JV. God damn it, Blake and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy Benson. God damn, my head. Well, I'm 40 years old and I get more brain farts than goddamn the dementia patient half the time. I feel like Jesus Christ. But he's been live with them. He goes live with them on like the Friday night throwdowns that Blake used to do, or Jeremy's Friday night stuff. And I think I seen him live on Jeremy's music live stream last night.
Cool.
Captain was fucking awesome. I love Captain to death.
I love that name, Captain Bapton. Hell yeah. So this is something that's super cool, man. It's just a train of thought train wreck. That's what this is, right? We're just chilling and
shooting the shit, hanging out basically, virtually.
Yeah, basically. I love the future and technology.
Right.
So like we will never have met anywhere. Come on, man. Like it's crazy. But yeah, can I bring up the tender subject of World Cup stuff?
Oh, go ahead, because I plan on starting Sunday. I'm gonna be streaming World Cup stuff on the channel.
So apparently England's team is set. Their squad is set today. I think today. What are they? 5 hours ahead of us?
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
5 hours, I think.
So they get set up. I think they're solidified today, and I think a lot more people solidified themselves today. Because when I put my foot in my mouth saying, "Hey, let's just start this tiny little quest of World Cup understanding," I didn't know the canyon of shit I really stepped into. So, yeah. So I'm gonna, as soon as we're done here, the rest of the day is gonna be reviewing these groups and stuff. Like there's so many.
The only thing I've really looked at was the fact that the U.S. plays Wales and we're in Group B, and we've got England and Iran in our group. Which I'm like, is this how Iran gets the money back from the nuclear deal, or? I just find it funny from the groupings on some of this stuff, but
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, England, Wales, the USA, and Iran. Who threw that against the dartboard?
Right? Like Scotland or
like it's wild, dude. And Wales is the first time since like 1958 since they've been in a World Cup.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I just thought we were against a bunch of big mammals, but no, that isn't. Had to do my dad joke. U.S. versus a bunch of whales. Shit, I'm tuning in.
Which I'm surprised the U.S. actually qualified, because our men's team is normally shit. Like
usually,
everybody watches U.S. soccer. It's not for the men; it's the women's teams, because they're the ones that take and win the World Cups.
Yeah. So, but it's like I said this before in another place, I don't know where, but we are coming in with the youngest squad in the World Cup, which I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be beneficial or detrimental. I think it's going to be beneficial. I don't know. I don't know. It could be either or. Like you get a bunch of kids over there out there in Qatar. I don't know how they're going to hold up. You need a veteran presence.
Something tells me that they'll figure out something, because seeing as the World Cup, they kind of cozied up to Qatar, and Qatar has a team out there. I don't know. Shenanigans might be afoot, because corruption isn't something that FIFA is, ever involved in.
No way, is it? Are you serious? You mean they're not responsible with their billions of dollars?
Right?
Who would have known? Who would have known? I thought they were all saints.
So,
Oh,
you're getting asked if you're doing a brewing banter. I think this is kind of in the place of it today because
yeah.
we were going to do this on his end, but uh, getting all this sorted out, I was like, here,
Yeah.
we'll take it just real quick because
Yeah. Well, it's much easier for you
yeah.
to, I think I'm in a closer proximity to throw my shit against the wall. You probably actually care about your setup. I'm like, let it burn,
Just a
you
little,
know?
just a little.
But yeah, for the people asking, there will be a brew and banter after, just like kind of a after action report banter kind of thing. But
Cheers to everybody that's come in here. Like
hey, yeah.
So if you can't tell, this stream is a little bit different than the one that I normally do with Blake on Tuesdays. Me and him, this is kind of, I was like, hey, we were both like, hey, we need to collab. All right, cool. Let's go live. All right, cool. Here we are. So while I'm trying to highlight y'all's commentary, we're not trying to actively avoid while actually trying to actively avoid, so we'll answer as we can get to some of y'all, but we're just kind of hanging out, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm be honest with you, I recorded 2 reactions before we went live, and I'm kind of glad we're not doing an actual reaction right now, because doing reactions behind a reaction, it'd be like, all right, so getting all the semantics of that worked out would be kind of a pain in the butt. So
yeah, and this is where I'm like, I really, you need that break. You need that step away from reaction, and it's just, I get that the day after we do our reactions over on Embrace the Suck, it's just kind of, it's crazy how refreshing it is when you don't have to, you're like, oh wow, okay, well then you're kind of like, now what?
Yeah.
So it's like yesterday, we did reactions pretty much the whole day. And by the time we shut the lights off, I got home at like 9 o'clock. I was done. And it's just taxing. And it's just a weird thing to think about, because physically I've worked harder in my life, but I don't understand why I'm so drained.
That's the thing I don't think a lot of people understand. Like you can have much more taxing physical jobs out there, but mentally this shit will drain the hell out of you. Now I will answer this because Captain's asking if we ever worry about reactions overlapping on each other's channels. There are instances where we will take and give somebody else's video a time to breathe a little bit before we do it. But for the most part, reaction channels are basically stepping on each other's dicks and trying not to take and squeal too loud about it.
Just and what happens is, like, if we try to have a plethora of videos that are scheduled to go out, because that's you got to play chess with it, right?
Yes, because there are times I've seen like Squirrel release a video and it's something that I had either scheduled or was going to take a release for that day, and I'm like, that son of a bitch. All right, let me take and go to this one. Let me record another video. All right, same thing with you and with Spence or even Jody and them. I'm like, these fucking assholes. I had planned on doing this one today. Now nobody's gonna watch this because they released it 3 hours ago.
But but I feel like it's like a double-edged sword, because one, does it pique interest in the video enough for them to find it somewhere else, or do you let that run with the audience it has until it flatlines to release yours and have it be fresh? So it's like there's pros and cons to both. I mean, as long as your channel's not a copy and paste channel of the other one, like that's what we all try to avoid,
right?
But for us, we schedule our stuff like a week in advance. And Spencer and I's schedule is so polar opposite and full of ups and downs and who knows what. I mean, the schedule is like in stone. If it goes out and it goes out at the same time someone else's goes out, we're like, ooh, apologies. Give us like, ooh, like, damn, like, okay, let's. I always am not hyper aware, because you can't really be hyper aware of other channels while you're on your own path, because you'll start having this subconscious like bleed through, like, hey, we should do this. Well, where'd you get that idea? Well, I just subconsciously banked that because I saw him react to it.
See, you've got a different way about going about it than I do. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I try to keep my ears to the ground on what everybody's doing. So that way, because
That's
number
awesome.
one, I want to take and see number one. All right, so I'm not even gonna lie, I'll take and get ideas. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I'll get ideas sometimes just by taking a look and be like, I haven't seen that. That's not even a topic I'd have thought of. You know, if it's 2-3 months old, I'll take a look at it, because at that point in time, it's done had its run. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's still, even though that does happen every so often. You'll get those videos that for like 3-4 months, you've got 20,000-30,000 views every 48 hours, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
Most of the time it's, all right, so what has this person done? What have they done? What have they done? What have they done? And a lot of times it's, all right, so I'd been planning on, these are the videos I've got lined up to react to. What if this maybe looks interesting that I haven't touched on before? Because we've got so many people entering the space now and new subject matter coming into that before. It's like, I didn't think of that. But there's also, it's like, all right, so I've got this subject, and these 12 people have reacted to this, and I'm like, when's the latest one? What's the views? And I'll take a look, like, okay, so if they all get about the same amount of views, I can expect this kind of viewage. But if you look and you've got like 20,000 views here, 20,000 views here, 17,000 views here, 12,000 views, I was like, shit, people have lost interest in this subject, so piss on that. And
that's awesome.
Why you don't want to take and do your videos for the views to grow your channel, you have to do videos for the views. So it's one of those oxymorons as a reaction channel that you kind of got to, keep in your mind. Yeah, no,
and you gotta you gotta play chess with it. You gotta play chess with it, and that's awesome. You're like the sniper in the back making calculated decisions. We're like, hey, I have flammable liquid. Let me just pour it on myself, light it, and run. Let's see how many we can take out. Like, that's kind of like, and each is crazily a valid way to do it.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Like, listen, this is what humbled me the most, and it happened yesterday. Or actually happened when we gained an hour, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to set my watch, and I don't know how to, because as a man, I threw that shit away. The instructions, I threw that away. I was like, who needs these ever again? I never have to read these because I am all that is man. And I just chucked them. Okay? Stupid decision.
Well, that's when you go to the store and you buy a watch that's already had the time set back, so then you ain't got to worry about it. You just
I got my spring watch and my fall watch.
Exactly.
Who needs to set them? But no, so I went to YouTube to figure out how to set my watch. Like 34 million views. I'm like, forget this. I'm out of this. This is wild. Like, blew my mind, man. Blew my mind. It's anyway, it's wild to me.
Yeah.
It's just something so, and my son watches that mental poison that's Coco Melon. And I'm like, I pulled that shit up on my phone. I'm like, dude, I miss my calling. Like, I miss my calling. Like, they're killing it. I'm like, man. Like,
it's funny because my kids don't watch it. My daughter loves like the Squishmallow type, the big ass plushies and the small little squishies that they. I'm like, how does the stuff the kids will watch is just absolutely insane.
Mind blowing. It's mind blowing and numbing, and it's also equal parts infuriating.
They like watch. It's funny because they know Daddy does reactions, but they don't watch Daddy. No. They watch. They watch SS Sniper Wolf. They watch Lauren Z side whenever she does reactions. I like her gaming type stuff. But there's another one. I can't remember this girl's name, but it's a new one that one of my oldest, or not my oldest, but my 11-year-old has started watching. But SS Sniper Wolf, and I got to say this, her editing, like, I need to hire an editor apparently. Because I've started trying to take and edit videos and just have it a little bit different from what everybody else and the thing's doing. You know, you got to, again, it goes back, you got to separate yourself somehow, whether it's subject matter or even editing and presentation and stuff like that. But after a while, they've watched her for so long that after a while, I'm like, please turn her off and find somebody else to watch. Please.
Like, you know, I have a channel as well.
Yeah,
we see you all the time.
Exactly. That, or they'll watch like Bijou Mike, which granted I love watching Bijou Mike. Been watching him for a while because of nephews and nieces and stuff. But yeah, it's crazy the stuff they'll take and watch. Roblox videos. My 11-year-old, she loves to draw. I'm glad something she videos she does sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's something that's like, it's wild. Like, no one knows like that niche, but to see like these, like our kids especially, like, just get involved. Like, they glaze over and there nothing else exists. And you're like, holy crap. Like, I just want you to, you know, to stop peeing in your pants. Like, why can't you listen to me?
Right.
You know? Like, little victories. Why can't you listen to me, man? Like,
there's a channel that my 9-year-old watches, and I can't remember the name of the channel, but this cat takes and buys stuff like iPhones and switches, plain rock, iPhone switches and stuff like that, just so he can make videos on like 50 different ways to break an iPhone. I'm like, I'm 40 years old. That's a fucking genius idea. Why didn't I think, oh, wait a minute, I'm poor. That's right.
Yeah. You're like, oh, that's right. You know, I feel the same way, man. I see these people.
This cat says, like, he's got little comments he'll take and make. That's like, wait a minute. You know that it's mostly kids that are going to be watching this. However, some of these comments that he makes are like, oh my God, that's highly inappropriate. He's going for the edgelords with this commentary, but he knows because of Switch and stuff like that, he's going to get little kids that watch it too. Like, this is genius.
It's mind blowing how some people have like learned to hack an algorithm. Like, they thrive in that.
Mr. Beast is, bro. There's so many. If you're in here and you, but anybody in here that has a channel, if you want to know how to grow a channel, watch videos of Mr. Beast talking about how to take and grow a channel. Because even if you can't take and follow 100% what he's saying because of the niche you're in or the style of videos you do, there are other strategies he talks about that help you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's like you have to like know how to replace, let's say, subject with what you're doing. Oh, hey, what it do, man? What it do?
One of my longest friends, friends on on YouTube, man. But
nice
outside of it too. So
yeah, hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Welcome.
Y'all don't know JV? Go check him out. Just throw that out there.
Yeah, got to. But yeah, man. So it's kind of crazy. Like you take, everyone has their own take and their own process how to build. You know, it's like a thumbprint, but at the same time, like Mr. Beast, like you see what works for him, and I would say you just replace things that he says with different subjects that you're interested in.
Yeah.
You use the same format, saying different things.
And the thing is too, like, you got to take and look at, number one, your thumbnails. Like, that's one of the things, I don't know if people that are subscribed to him have noticed. Like, there's 2 videos last week that I put out, the thumbnails much different than what my thumbnails normally look like. The thumbnail for the video that's going to come out later today, much different. The editing styles for those 2 videos, different. The editing style for the video. I'm playing with stuff because
smart.
I've always took and watched, how do you take and grow? And a lot of the stuff on like how to take and grow, it doesn't really, I wouldn't say it doesn't apply. It's just that they're like, oh yeah, it immediately helps. And it's like, no, this is shit that takes, even enacting some of this stuff, it takes a long time. Two things that will take and grow your channel, regardless of how small you are. Description, or not description, but your title and your thumbnail. If you get an eye-catching thumbnail, you can have no videos. First 3, 4, 5 videos, you can take and get yourself in the algorithm with a good thumbnail and a good title. It's just simple as that. Now, whether or not your video is good and your retention, but because you're editing, and that's a different story. But
so I mean, that's a I think that's a very smart approach, man. Like, because I see it all the time. I see it all the time, everywhere. It's just like it. I love you touch on something that has always been in my head. Like, you touch on something where there's videos of how to grow your channel, and that dude has like 2,000 views on that video. I'm like, don't come at me, dude.
Yes. It's crazy how many channels start on how to take and actually grow a channel. I'm like, but you have no views and you have no. I've seen channels like that, and 6 months later they've got 30,000 subscribers. I'm like, I'm in the wrong fucking niche here, because I know all this shit.
It's just, damn it. It's wild. It's just like,
I'm like, they took the MLM concept and put it on YouTube.
Yep. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. This whole thing is crazy. My family is like, what do you do? Like, oh, I believe I create content. And I'm like, fair enough. And then they walk away, because it's just like, it's just wild. This whole world that we live in, this whole platform that we're on, is just wild, man.
Which, do you run into the issue of meeting people, or even maybe talking to friends and family, that you get asked, well, what do you take and do? Like, oh, I do YouTube. It'd be like, what? It's like, I'll tell people, they're like, oh yeah, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, YouTube. They're like, wait, you make money on that? You can make money on that? I'm like, yeah, people have been doing it for a while, but it's also made it to where it's kind of made it harder for me to kind of almost relate to folks, almost, because they'll be talking about stuff and I'm like, yeah, see, I was doing a video the other day.
Exactly. It's just weird. So I default to like, what do you do? I'm a falconer. Like, there's something completely, something different. Something different.
Like, I love that.
Yeah. I just walk around the woods with my little leather glove, and that's what I do. But yeah, that's a job too, that I found out. That's a real fucking job. Like, with benefits and stuff. Well, it blows my mind.
Yeah.
So anything can be a job. So F it. Whatever. I'm a fan. But yeah. So, man, listen, this is something that we need to keep doing, EB. This is something that
we need to take and collaborate like once a week. Yeah,
man.
And just shoot the shit.
Yeah, this is great, man. Like, this is refreshing.
Yes,
this
very
is
much so.
This is refreshing, where it's not like watching. It's different than reacting. This is just shooting the shit.
Have you seen some people that take and stream on YouTube, and you're like, wait a minute, what are they doing, and why do they have so many viewers? Like, like,
what is that?
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like the simplest
my buddy
shit.
JV, yes, and my buddy JV, dude, he finds some of the weirdest fucking channels, like the weirdest channels. But like, you'll see people, they're like they're sitting there in their chair, and it's like they're watching TV. You can't hear the TV, but like, I have 2,000 viewers, and I'm like, how the fuck does this happen?
Yeah, I'm like, it's
30
like
minutes,
almost
no sound from them. I'm like, did they forget to unmute the mic? What the hell? 2,000, 2,500 viewers.
It blows my mind. So next video is gonna be I'm gonna paint a wall, and I'm gonna point the camera at it and like paint dry real time. That's what we're doing. That's the shit.
you might have a winner chicken dinner there. Because Mr. Beast taking counted to 1 million on his channel. So,
what are we doing out here, really?
right?
It's like, what
Right.
are we doing? Oh man, and like I poked fun at the ASMR like stuff, right? Like come on, man, rain sounds, like really making money off the rain, but they do. Those videos are crazy,
Bro.
viewed.
I watched a video yesterday talking about, oh yeah, and it's a different type of, like, they're talking about people that, you know, they make videos that do tutorials almost, you know, that they do tutorials, but they, you know, do it in a series so you can actually do a long form video. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've got different people I've reacted to that I could take and put all of those reactions into one and make it one long reaction. I'm like,
yeah.
I think I know what I'm doing this weekend.
There you go. There you go.
Fred Debna, and we got the two Ronnies and Mitchell and Webb, and
like take the whole life of your channel and put it on one stream and just fucking just let it go. Just let it play. Just let it play. It's just like, what? Yeah, no, it's an 80-hour stream. Like, what? Yeah. Like,
I wonder how many people would actually roll through and actually watch something like that.
I bet that'd be. I bet that would. I bet that would work. I bet that would work.
Might have to try it now.
You're like, huh? Yeah. Let's just put all of our videos on one video and just break the internet.
Wait,
but man,
I've got to take all the videos that don't have copyright issues. Those are the ones you take and do, because otherwise you're not going to get. You'd be like, block.
Yeah.
What is 6 hours in? What the hell is this shit?
Yeah. God, dude, that's funny.
Dude, we cannot take and do this and be high, because we'd take and say 3 words and we would laugh for the rest of the fucking time, I think.
This is what we do, man. This is what we do. We found, I feel like we fell into something that meets our times and meets our style. You know, nothing like I love doing the morning stuff because it's good to laugh in the morning. It's lifeblood. It's like coffee.
Yeah, it makes
doing.
It's funny because doing that makes the rest of the day. Even if you got something that's kind of aggravating, roll along. You've already taken and got that built up.
Yep.
Whatever
positivity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, whatever. Unless it's your
exactly.
kid and you're like, I just want to string you up by your toes. Shut up.
Yeah, it's just, dude. I keep coming back to this. It's wild, man. Like when the kids are like, when my son's asleep, he's like an angel. But what the fuck happens? It goes 0 to 60 instantly, and I'm like, what? Can I get some of that? Like, what? Can you sell that? Like, definitely not legally. You know, like, God, man. Like I just going through the whole. I don't know. Kids are awesome, and they're just it's
we
wild.
Are so sorry for that. Weird. See, now I feel like we're douchebags for that, but that's just one of the joys of being a parent, unfortunately. Your kid here, I'm like, oh, I want to watch it now. It's like,
yeah,
that son of a bitch.
Like, God damn it.
I was next to him, I slapped the shit out of him.
Well, it's better than us saying, Alexa, play music, you know?
Bro,
it's like that stuff, man. It's annoying. I love it. Everyone's listening all the time. It's crazy, man. I love this crazy world we live in, man, because it brought us together. So it's wild. There's a what?
Beer.
I'm looking at the
Beer Man does ASMR beer reviews and gets.
And he does it in a whisper. Well, that's creepy.
Dude,
I bet you can't do that at a bar.
So for those that don't know, I started on YouTube as a beer reviewer. Like, that's what I did. And I started YouTube literally doing that as it means, because all my buddies were drinking like Bud Light, natural, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking this horse piss that you're drinking. You know that, right? Like this shit has water and it's got coloring to it. It doesn't really have flavor. I'm like, try this. Like, oh no. I'm like, dude, it'd be like Fat Tire, like New Belgium's Fat Tire. And they're like,
all right.
No. I'm like, bro, it's a lager, just like Budweiser, but it has more flavor and it's better. So
but does it have But does it have a NASCAR, Alan?
Left turn. Ooh, no.
But if the beer has a NASCAR, it must be drinkable.
I'm sure the founders of NASCAR are rolling in their graves because they started NASCAR. Could actually, they could actually make their vehicles go on the stuff they were drinking.
Yeah, man.
But and that's the whole reason why I started on YouTube, was so I can review beers, craft beers that I enjoyed. So my friends might be like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. I'll try it. And that's the whole reason I started on YouTube. And Beer
That's
Man,
awesome.
As far as beer reviewers go, that cat has one of the best personalities. Like he's so chilling. Like he's got like a surfer vibe to him. Hey, man, he's so freaking awesome. So I didn't know he was doing ASMR. So I'll have to check that out personally.
That's awesome, though. I mean, if you think about it,
wait, that's a different guy. What the? See, Beer Man needs to take, that's trademark infringement.
Ooh, but or he just assumed it was trademarked, dude. There's people that can slide in and take your shit.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. Spencer and I talk about it all the time. That's why across all the channels we're like, let's get Embrace the Suck on website, everything. Let's just get it. Just get it all as much as we can. Yeah, so no one else can.
Yes, that's one of the things I own the domains for Eclectic Beard Reactions. Like I own domains for that. I don't have the website isn't functional at the moment. It was at one point in time, but I still own those domains. So
see, and that's the thing. Like you got to play chess with it, and it's one of those when you're out there in the public eye, you got to think about your fail safes. Like, hey, protect the brand at all costs. And it's an unfortunate thing that we got to think about. But dude, Spencer keeps mentioning like EB started his journey with beer. It's like, that's crazy. That's usually how people's journeys end. Your start too. Like that's great. It's so cool. It's like such a that's the right way. How'd you get on YouTube? Beer. Yeah. Like
and the thing about it is the beer review community, for the most part, they're really nice people. They're really cool people. The problem with beer reviews on YouTube is I started doing reactions about a year and a half into doing beer reviews, It might be longer than that, but it's like a year and a half, maybe almost 2. I just switched from doing beer reviews to reactions. I had 400 subs when I started doing reactions. Within a month and a half, because I don't even think it was that long, because I had stopped doing it just before Thanksgiving, like 3 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I took and reacted to a couple of music videos, and then I reacted to Elon Musk, the Tesla Cybertruck. And now this was on my first channel, because this channel right here is the second. This is now the main channel, but it's my second channel that's been monetized. Actually. So the first channel, before I moved a lot of stuff over, it got monetized because I took a reacted to Elon Musk and that Cybertruck unveiling.
Is that the one that failed? Isn't that the one that failed, like on the stage?
Where they took
Didn't something happen to it?
The ball bearing, and it took and kind of stuck in the window. Yeah, that's the one I reacted to, and I'm like, but I don't know. I didn't know nothing about EVs, or not at least not a whole lot. I'm used to taking and driving like Fords, Chevys, Toyotas and stuff like that. At the time, I'd just gotten done working a job to where for 3 years I was a flatbed dump driver. So
nice.
You know what I'm saying? So I know I've worked around trucks. I know trucks. I've had trucks. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to all of this and I'm reacting. I'm just giving my, my country boy take on everything. And they give the price on it. I'm like, bruh, $20,000, $30,000 for a truck, like like that. I'm like, that's gonna give Ford and Chevy a run for their money once they come
Yep.
out. That video right there, I didn't pay it no attention for like 4 or 5 days afterwards. Me and JV's hangout, and my buddy Blake, we were all talking on this. I think we was using StreamYard. We weren't live or anything. Like we just hanging out talking. And he's like, "Yeah, your Tesla video is doing real well." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I actually went and looked at my analytics, and it was like 40,000 views in the past 48 hours. I said, "What
That's
the?"
crazy. It's crazy.
And so
Yeah.
my channel went from being beer reviews to reactions, and then more from reactions to electric vehicles at
Yep.
that point. I had to start a whole new channel, which is the one we're on now, for
Yeah.
reactions. And it took me a year of doing grime reactions on this channel before I was like, dude, these accents, these rappers, because I was doing was rec to UK grime for the most part. That's my biggest part.
Huh.
And I was listening to the accents. So I looked at the accents. Before that, I'd looked at Ralphie May. Somebody suggested Al Murray. Looked at
Yep.
Al Murray. So, and that put me where I'm at. Dude, it's crazy how on YouTube your journey kind of evolves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's for us it
I think I had a
started
different
with
point, but it got lost somewhere in the story. So
it's right. It was a great truck story. Cool truck story, bro. No, it was awesome. Like that's how it goes. That's how it goes, man. So my
yes,
thing is
yes,
like
I do. A massive fucking ego. I'm not even gonna lie on that one. Thanks for calling me out.
no, we got to, man. We got to. It's just,
And,
I think I think it's 1G away from ego, which is great too.
yeah.
Ego, man.
Well, anybody that puts himself in front of a camera and wants to hear the sound of their own voice and pontificate or taking, comment on somebody else's stuff, if you don't have a fucking ego, then you're a psychopath.
Right. Right. Thank God the camera's in front of me this time. You know what I mean? Usually I don't have anything recording and I'm just talking. But at least this normalizes my insanity. I think, kind of, if you can. But like I would say your UK grime was our oasis. That's how we like I said, we jumped out of the plane with no parachute. We just like, I guess, let's do it. Leroy Jenkins all the way down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking go for it. Fucking go for it. Yeah. But yeah, man, this is crazy. We're out here doing this thing. And EB, you got to let me know when you come to Maryland, bud.
Oh, dude, trust me. I told my wife that we have to make another trip. And you're commenting. That's all. So I don't know what your fucking point is here. Like, did you come just to take and troll me, or what the fuck? If you're gonna take control, you go ahead and troll, and I'll just leave you the fuck alone. That's cool. But like, I don't see where having an ego like has any kind of bearing on anything that I've been doing. Like everybody's been nice in here, and you're gonna come in here and you're just gonna be an ass for the sake of being an ass. Well, all right, cool then. I hope you have a lovely day and you enjoy the rest of the banter and stuff like that. But I just don't. All right, cool, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Like, I don't even know because I'm on. I can't even see what you're seeing, bud. Like it's crazy. Let me see. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's the comments thing. Oh, where'd he go? We have lost Daniel. I have to send it back to him or something. Like, and here's the thing. Everybody's got a fucking ego. Everybody's got an ego. Like if you don't have an ego, like and I don't care what you're doing, your job, if you don't try to be the best at your job, like I think everybody's got to have a certain amount of fucking ego. But that's such a random fucking comment about, you just come in here talking about somebody's got a fucking ego. What the fuck ever, dude. I love everybody that's in here. Everybody's been so nice. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take and check with Daniel real quick, see what's happened. Because he just went somewhere all of a sudden. What happened? What happened? Nah, I ain't worried about it. Well, here's my thing. I normally don't try to feed the trolls. I normally don't try to feed the trolls, but if somebody comes in and it's random like that, and it's just something like that, it's you're breaking up the scheme of what's going on and the conversations that are already going on amongst my comment chatters on the channel anyways. I'm going to address it. It's well, I greatly appreciate that. Like look, your opinion is your opinion. It really is. If you think I got an ego, I can't say you're wrong. I appreciate you stopping in and watching. That was so much out of wherever else. So, oh, you're good. You're not the only person that's done something like that. I've done that before on streams. So
what?
What happened?
Well. Now I know not to touch nothing. So, like, so that was fun. I went to the upside down.
You went to the upside down world?
That's what I did. Yeah. So I'm not just going to touch nothing. My hands are going to be visible. I apologize.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Yes. So apparently I can't troll hunt yet. My hands are tied, so I don't F this up.
Well,
so but
normally I take and let mods and stuff deal with stuff like that, because normally you get trolls that take and come in, and normally it's people that they start off talking normal and then they go to the racist route of stuff, and you got mods that'll take and ban them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you got folks that'll take and come in, and if you're just gonna take and talk shit, that's cool. I don't mind that. But like you got the sexy chat, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, we got to get rid of this shit. Like get rid of bots and stuff. So it's all over the place. You know, that bot is all over the place. Mike Righteous is one of my favorite artists I've reacted to since I've started doing this. Like,
oh, that's kind of cool.
Y'all do music. I don't know if y'all done any rap. I highly, if y'all do, recommend Mike Righteous or Akala or Low Key, and they're firing the boots, bro.
All right, man. But yeah, man, so I apologize for my sudden exit, but I found my way back, which is just crazy. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna have to start gearing up, EB, to pick up my son. You know, but yeah. Yeah, so I have to probably start gearing up, but because I got to pick up my son, so he's too young to walk from school, you know. That's an elementary school lesson. Oh, so not a daycare lesson.
He's not a latchkey kid.
Yeah, no. Someday he's gonna walk the hill. Yeah, like up the hill both ways.
Phil, nobody's saying y'all have always got to be nice, man. It's just whenever you see such a drastic break from the normal conversation that's coming in, look, keep me in check, because that's the audience's job. But like when it's just that jarring of like, wait, where the fuck is this coming from?
Gotta love it.
Kind of what happened there, to be honest with you. Like they don't always have to be nice, but you know,
no.
Whenever it's that much of a departure, it's like, okay.
Coming with the haymaker to be seen.
Down goes Frazier.
What? Where did that come from? Oh man.
Oh hell. Well, that being said, then I have thoroughly enjoyed this. We should have done this a long goddamn time ago.
We should have. But I'll tell you this, man. I'm glad to be in a place where I have stable Wi-Fi connection, and over on Embrace the Suck 21, we have fixed that facet.
Oh, cool.
So
well, then we'll have to do like a triple collaboration or something like that. We'll have to take and get together, and we'll have to take and do like a joint collab of a video, or just maybe one of y'all's fireside chats. I'll just join y'all.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, that would be fun, man. That'd be fun. We have fun with it. That's the main key.
I do plan on going back to Maryland, because I was telling my wife, I was like, we've got a buddy of ours, Rod J. Like, we normally talk to this cat every fucking night. Normally we game with him and stuff like that. I've known him for a while on here. So he lives up there in Maryland, so we've got to go meet him. And I told her, I was like, hey, Embrace the Suck 21's up there. I'd love to share a beer about 10 of 10 with y'all. So
Yeah. Yeah.
something tells me it wouldn't just stop at 1.
Well, you listen, man. Next time you come up here, man, just hit me up. You know how to reach me. You know?
Yeah.
And we'll get something done. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And I think our guys would love that.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't think, I mean, people do collabs, but no one just goes and hangs at a bar. You know,
Right?
that'd be our thing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna go ahead and end this so he can go get his youngin, and I've got to finish uploading the video. So
there you go. All right, man. Well, listen, man. Hey,
thank you so much for this.
EB, thanks for having me, bud. Thanks for having me.
Dude, at this point, it's like, all right, anytime, stop on in. So, thanks everybody that's in the chat that's been watching.
Yes.
Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.
Yes. Later.